Do you desire to turn your passion into income? Connect with other creative souls who also dance to the beat of their own drum? I'm Marie-Nicole, and I'm devoted to combining beauty, uniqueness, and connection in everyday living experiences. As a creative professional and Dharma coach, I help people connect to the truth of who they are and facilitate them in embodying their uniqueness. It is my hope in this podcast that I inspire you to live your life on your terms and earn your income through being uniquely you. After all, it's the unique thread that we each contribute to the collective tapestry that creates the whole. "48 laps around the sun." Today, the day that I am recording this, is my birthday, my 48th birthday. So for those who can see me on the video, I'm sipping cacao and I'm sharing my birthday with you. And I have a different background. I'm in the same room, but I decided to record sitting on my sofa in my studio space because today is all about comfort, nurturing, connecting to the essence of who I am in this 48th year of life on earth. And I still wanted to record my podcast today. It is the scheduled day for doing that. And I love podcasting, and I'm only new to it, but I actually love sharing the journey with people and helping people feel like they are not alone in their journey, which is why this podcast is important to me. And Business to Your Own Beat is all about living authentically true to yourself. And it's not just about earning your money, being authentic and true to yourself, it's about living. And when I reflect on the last 24 years of business, which is half of my life, so 24 laps around the sun in business, and I can't help but think of the fact that I've always chosen to do what is authentic for me, even if it hasn't always been what other people think I should be doing. And not to be contentious, that's not my endeavor. It is actually part of my purpose here on earth, is to be me and to value me. Now, this year's quite an interesting year for me, being the first birthday in 25 years that I've actually been single and have chosen to remain single. I haven't actively sought out to be with anybody else since my husband left last year, and that's fine. He's on his own journey. I have come to realize and recognize that I can't change myself to make things work for other people. And I am inviting you to see that you don't need to change yourself either. Sometimes we just don't have that alignment anymore. Our soul contracts are over. Now, I'm going to put my cacao down for a minute. It's getting a bit warm in my hands. This podcast, I am going to warn you a little bit. I'm probably going to ramble. There's a quote that's been said a lot over the years, which has resonated with me, and that is to share your scars, not your wounds. And I have always gone through my learning processes and then shared what I've learned once I've actually gone through the journey. However, I am sharing this podcast with you without structure to it that I have considered or thought through, because I am feeling a little bit scattered at the moment in my thoughts with the transitions that I'm going through, and I haven't yet developed a scar with all of the changes that are taking place in my life. It is still a wound, but I can feel the scar forming and I can feel the next steps being opened up to me. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel more than I could have 6 months ago. So that's why I feel like I can share this part of the journey with you, even though the cycle hasn't come to a complete end yet. But I feel like it's important to still share with you what some of the learnings that have come through this experience, and especially the last 24 years in business, because That's important. We always go through ups and downs and cycles of death and renewal. That's life. As a human race, we have practiced more sharing when we've accomplished our goals and when we've reached that outcome that we desire. But along the way, there are so many hurdles, there are so many obstacles that we actually have to navigate through. So I'm being a little bit vulnerable today. I'm sharing with you what I've learned so far without the cycle being completed. And I'm okay with that. I feel like I was saying to somebody the other day that at the moment they were asking me how I was doing because I've got a lot going on. And at the moment, I feel like I'm driving down an unfamiliar road with dense, heavy fog. And the only thing that I can see are the obstacles immediately in front of me. And so I'm focused on those immediate obstacles just to make my way through this thick fog. And I am certain that it's going to open up and the clearing is going to appear again very soon. In the same way that I feel like I'm in the chrysalis and I can feel my wings forming, but they haven't yet strengthened enough for me to open them and fly. But it's a process, and we all go through processes like this, and it's okay for us to have times of struggle and uncertainty and still continue to move forward. I don't believe I should lock myself away completely and hide until those wings form, because it's through the interactions with other people and the conversations with other people that it's actually triggered in my mind a lot of the gems and the activations and learnings and realizations of what this whole process is doing for me. So I want to share it on my podcast with you so that I can help you also activate and think about the gems and the learnings that you're taking from some of the challenges you're going through. Another part of this journey, I must say, for me, feels like I am coming out of the motherhood phase. I don't know if you've read Clarissa Pincola's Women Who Run with the Wolves. But if you haven't, I suggest for any woman to read this book. There is another version, which is a white version, a slightly bigger book. This one's the black and gold, and it's got very small print. So this is a good one to carry around in your bag. But in Clarissa Pincola's Women Who Run with the Wolves, she talks about the stages and phases that we go through as women, and we go from the motherhood to the wild, wise woman. And I, at 48, am definitely in entering into this wise, wild woman phase. I started at 47, but it is now starting to really bloom, this phase. And with that comes embracing who I am, what I'm here to do, and how I'm here to serve. And and know that I will not always meet other people's expectations. My human design profile is a 4-6 profile, which is the opportunist role model. Opportunist being I love to connect with other people and I love to find out what they're here to do, how they're here to serve, and the benefits they can bring. And then when somebody needs something, I can connect them with the right person to help fulfill that need. And I love that aspect of my human design profile. Even before finding that out, I always knew that about me. I'm definitely a person that takes information and input from people and then connects dots for other people. And the role model part is interesting because there's 3 phases to that journey. And the first phase being up until you're about 28, and then from 28 through to late 40s. And that middle bit is a really messy middle part where you're trying all new things and trying to test and discover and experience what does align and what doesn't align with you, or just experience it for the sake of experiencing it. And then in the third part of life, that's when you take all of those learnings and you share it with other people to help them through their journey. Now, I have always wanted to help people, not because I feel like I've got all the answers, but because I've had such a roller coaster of a life that I feel like I can help people still enjoy their life and still make the most of opportunities and not play the victim in their life. And not feel like life is happening to them, but actually understand life is happening for you. I was reflecting also this morning that's interesting that I am a six profile, and in my late 40s, I am closing an aspect of my business that was really a crucial part of it. The actual physical space was a critical part of Creator's Nest and what it was about. And I picked up my business plan that I wrote before opening Creator's Nest. I spent a long time preparing for this business and really honing in on what I wanted to offer before actually opening the doors. And I was reading through the elevator pitch and the summary, the problem that I was solving. And so I'm going to read part of it to you because I think it's a good indicator of I have been on this journey for a long time of helping people and wanting to serve through my own learnings and experiences. My executive summary, my problem and current solution was Creator's Nest is a creative co-working space in Yass that fosters the inception of ideas and mitigates isolation. Creator's Nest provides women with connection to the community and offers incentives for newcomers to stay. The Nest provides an opportunity for locals to establish micro businesses that promote tourism. Creators Nest is a collaborative portal to opportunity and connection. Technology and transport allow small towns access to the global marketplace and help reduce isolation. People need access to incubation spaces. That's part of my summary. But in my market opportunity section, I want to share with you what I had as Creators Nest services. I have the customer, who they are, and how I'm going to serve them. The Nest will provide a creative support network, a creative hub with access to inspiration tools and teachings, an outlet for new projects and creative energy, a warm and nurturing environment for women to seek connection, a haven for her to seek respite from her isolation, financial advice for business development, technical instruction and traditional artisan techniques, magnetic opportunities for creative expansion, business coaching to gratify expansion, a physical space to collaborate with others, a way for women to empower themselves. Now, this was about 6, 7 years ago that I wrote this, and nothing has changed. I still wish to empower women, not because I'm dismissing the value of men. I just saw a need in our local community and for myself to be empowered, to be supported, to be connected. And I think that it is so important for children to have their mothers feel empowered, supported, and connected. I myself went through a period of deep isolation and I felt completely disconnected from the outside world. In response to that, I wrote a business plan as a solution to this problem to not only help myself through this, but to help other women because I could see other women suffering from a similar fate of serving others, trying to be everything for everyone, trying to be what we're expected to be, and actually losing sight of the value of who we are and what we can do and how we can contribute because our society has led us towards being the one who is adaptable, who's flexible, who puts their career aside in order to support their partner's career and meet the children's needs. And yet, in the end, that can work against us too. Because if we're not earning enough money to contribute to the family, or if we're not maintaining our titles that are important according to society, then other people can be disappointed in us because we are not meeting their needs. And I mean, I'm just talking about intimate relationships here and marriage dynamics. But look, over the last 48 years, I have disappointed many people. I have disappointed friends, I've disappointed colleagues, I've disappointed community members, not because I've tried to, but because we all have our own expectations of what we think people should do, how they should act, what they should focus on. And we've lost sight of the fact that it's actually important for us to sit within ourselves and connect with who we are and what we're here to do and how we're here to serve, and see the value in somebody else and how they do what they do, how they serve, the value that they bring. So it starts with ourselves. It starts with connecting with ourselves and seeing within ourselves the value that we bring. And that's why I believe it's important to do business to our own beat. Because when we are connected to our own beat, we can then look at somebody else and see the value in the contribution they're making by being connected to their own beat. We're not looking at them saying they need to be like me, they need to do things like me, because what they do is something I can't do. And that's how together we become complementary. The collective tapestry is made up by unique threads that all contribute to the whole. That is in my intro because I truly believe that. We all have our own value that we bring to the collective. We have our own value that we bring to a partnership. We cannot expect our partner to be exactly like us or to think exactly as we do. What would serve us better is to see the value that we each bring to the whole. So, 48 years around the sun, here I am on my own, connecting to myself and the value that I bring to my family, my community, and society by being me. And I really would like that for you too. Not because I want you to be alone. I don't want to be alone. I value partnership. I value connection. That is why I have the opportunist profile, because I actually love connecting with other people and working with them. But I don't expect everyone to be like me. And I want to give you permission to be you, because you bring value to the collective by doing that. So, what's next? 7 years ago, I had a pretty comprehensive business plan on what's next. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm closing my retail store, and I actually don't know what's next. I don't have a clear picture of what's next. But I tell you what I am doing that is a little different to what I've done previously is I am spending less time up here in my head and writing a business plan from that place, and spending more time here in my heart. And I'm feeling into what feels in alignment with my soul's purpose. Any big decisions I've had to make in the last few weeks, because there have been a lot, actually maybe even the last couple of months, I have really sat in my body and connected with my heart, and I have tuned in to what feels in alignment. And I am making one decision after another based on that. Rather than trying to work it all out mentally, I'm trying to feel it. And so I can't tell you on paper exactly what it's going to look like, but I can tell you it's going to be quite magnificent. And I know that because it feels like it's activating something in me. This whole process is activating something in me that is going to be quite magical to experience going forward. It's the lotus flower. The lotus flower blooms from the mud. I am sure there's a lotus flower coming, and I'm sure there's a butterfly that's going to open her wings and fly. And so I hope that my podcast recording at age 49 will be, remember how I didn't know what was going to come next last year? Well, this is what has happened since, and it is amazing. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not putting any work in. I am making sure that I am connected to my purpose while still winding up all of those things that need to be completed to complete the cycle of what was, and also putting the energy towards the untangling of that 25 years of a life that is no longer, and opening myself up to what's next. Taking the downloads and insights as they come through and recording them and collating all of these beautiful ideas that are coming through. And I will get to a point where I will have more clarity around what's next. But I just need to finish up what was. that will no longer be, because it's important to complete the cycle. And until I do that, I can't move forward effectively. So there's still a lot of undoing to do. There's only a few weeks left and I'll be out of the commercial space and working on setting up my home-based studio and shed workspace. And that's going to be an interesting journey to get back into my shed. But I am actually looking forward to working from home again, which is interesting. I never thought I would want to be working from home again. I love my commercial space. But I am actually looking forward to being more connected again to my land, spending more time to the land that I'm the custodian of right now, and still staying connected with my community. I'm still doing some collaboration work with people in town and looking for more opportunities to collaborate. I might have started this podcast sounding a little down, and I was feeling it. I was feeling a little bit emotional because it is a little bit sad. Like, I'm spending my birthday alone, and I know that there are people out there that love and value me, and it's not about being necessarily seen or understood right this minute. It's actually about sharing. The journey of sharing our life with another person is something that's really special. And that is something that I miss, witnessing each other's lives. So while it's a little bit sad that I'm spending this day on my own, I actually think it's a really good thing because I am connecting back to the essence of me, what I can value about myself, and really tuning into it. Hang on, no, you actually have value that you can contribute, and you do not need permission from anyone else or the tick off from anybody else that you're doing it the right way. And I'm not saying that my husband was that. There's, other people connected to that relationship that I was still feeling that I needed to fulfill expectations of. And this opportunity of being on my own has given me a real opportunity to connect back with, hang on a minute, what are you about? What is it you really think is important? How do you wish to move forward? And that is a blessing in disguise. So I look forward to the next 12 months unfolding and seeing where the next lap around the sun takes me. So until next week, wishing you a magical week ahead, connecting to the essence of who you are in alignment with your purpose. And thank you for being a part of my journey. Thank you so much for your time. I know how valuable it is, and I hope you got value out of listening to this podcast. If you are looking for a coach to support and guide you through your own unique journey of creating a life you love, then reach out for a connection call. And if you'd like to connect with other creative souls in person by joining us at a workshop, a retreat, or to book a unique shopping experience here at Creators Nest, I run those by appointment. So check out the website for more details. The link is in the show notes. Oh, and please leave a review. I'd love to hear any insights or inspirations that were activated in you from this podcast. And I look forward to drumming, dancing, or soaring alongside of you.